Alright, cooldown reduction is an ability in video games that I very much enjoy. Now, Diablo 3 is the king of cooldown reduction, but Path of Exile is actually adding quite a bit of cooldown reduction mechanics in its game, so I decided I would go a little ham on some of these new cooldown reduction tattoos to see how far I can get my cooldown reduction. Now let's go through and take a look at all of my cooldown reduction. First of all, I am a Saboteur, so I get 30% right here, like a clockwork, 30% cooldown reduction. Then I get a whopping 19% on the belt, and I could actually go one higher here. I think I have 19% on the boots. Nope, 20% on the boots. The boots are maxed out, so I'm missing one cooldown reduction here. I have 3 here, and then I have 3 in each one of these Abyss Jewel sockets, making for a total of a lot. Now, I also have tattoos. 8 here, 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 and then we go buck wild with 100% increased effective tattoos, making 16, 16, and 16 for a total of 202 cooldown reduction recovery. We take a look at Shockwave. It says 3.2% increase / reduced cooldown recovery rate, and it says all of my items there. If you get rid of the 60% at the very top for the skill itself, right here, 60%, you remove that, you're left with 202% increased cooldown recovery, which is pretty rad. So here it says it gives it 0.276 seconds of cooldown recovery. Now let's take a look. Let's just run a map. I think I put a map in there. Yeah, let's just run a map and see what that looks like. Now I have the special effect for the Shockwave Cyclone, but it does not work inside of the Shaco. So it's going to be real hard to see the cyclones. I have Prismatic Burst. I threw a bunch of stuff that would be interesting to see with a lot of cooldown reduction. So let's pop open my Cyclone window here. And it takes quite a bit of enemies for it to finally go down, but it is cooking. Look at that bad boy ticking. It's just like tick, tick, tick. Cooking, cooking, cooking. So if I didn't have the damage setup that I currently have, and I actually have more damage, what I could do, let's go back to this clicky so we can see it. Wish Frozen Legion was closer. We can cast this until our shockwaves go down to 0. Then we can pop a Frozen Legion, which is now this button. So let's do it right over here on this guy. That's how you maximize your damage. Got a Frost Blink on some people. Not talking about my gear because this isn't a build. I'm just demonstrating the cooldown, which I need this open for. God, this is difficult to do. I keep wanting that closed because I obviously don't want that open the whole time. But you gotta see the shockwave tick and bounce. So G, not G. C. Go to my shockwave. And let's walk back over there. So if you were to make a build doing this, idea would be to get Shockwave to 0, then cast your Frozen Legion. I ruined my own video by fighting these enemies and trying to explain it instead of just shutting up and showing it. I mean, you guys get it. I don't need to explain it. That Frost Blink is pretty quick, with 202% cooldown recovery. Let's take off the Prismatic Burst. It's blowing up pretty hard. And let's just focus on the Shockwave. I'm Frost Blinking on people because that's how I get my power charges now. Okay, let's fight this boss. Come on, get it down to 0. And I'm not sure I can go fast enough to get Shockwave down to 0 with a single enemy. Oh my gosh. My cooldown reduction with this weapon, obviously if I switched weapons, is so extreme. And I was unable... What does it even say on here? For the cooldown, for the cast time. 0.28 seconds. It is rounding. The cast time is so extreme. It looked like I was able to keep my Shockwave notes up. Obviously, I'm squishy with this build. Because it's not a build. I was just memeing around, applying those tattoos. I'm going to make it a build. I'm going to attempt to make it a build. But until then, we're just going to have to make do with it not being a build. Okay, it's slowly ticking down. As I increase my crit strike chances, should tick down faster. Because of the weapon I'm using. Only my crits do damage. I'm not sure if only my crits make cyclone shockwaves, but only my crits do damage. I might have too much cooldown recovery for this shockwave. It goes ham in packs. Let's do Vol for the fun. I can do... This is Flicker Strike without any Frenzy Charge generation. God, that guy's an asshole with his arrows. But the boss is the best person to demo it on. Because I don't kill them. Actually, I can demo Flicker Strike on a non-boss. Let's demo some Flicker. Give me some power charges first. There we go. I mean, if you're going super slow attack speed, you can almost make it work. Actually, you could make it work, because if you got triple strike, it would just totally work without frenzy charges, I think. All right, now let's do some Frozen Legion. All those misses are me not critting. So I need those power charges in order to get my crit high enough. So it just looks real bad. I mean, the build is not built yet, obviously. But it does more damage than it was appearing. When it has power charges. But obviously I can't survive that. Alright, that was a good enough demonstration. Let's go to the... good old free zone of the Blood Aqueducts. And I'll do a quicker run. Actually, let me go grab a not a town portal, a movement speed flask. I'm not using one at the moment. Movement speed. I think this was the character. Yeah, there we go. That's a nice movement speed. I like that one. Now let's go to the Blood Aqueducts. I have my skills, Prismatic Burst, and then I got a Shaco with a level 32 Shockwave inside of here. I'm just gonna go through with this CDR so you can see it. Let's keep this open so you can watch the abilities pump. That is a lot of cooldown recovery rate. It is staying real high. That's exciting for what I'm thinking with this build. That's real exciting. It's taking a few dips. It's taking a few dips. But that is a lot of cooldown recovery. 202% to be exact. Alright, I think a cool way to show it, I'm not going to go over the, I'm not going to leave the defensive thing open so you can see him proc. I'm just going to run it. Let's go in the mines. I think the mines would be a good way to demo it. And obviously we're demoing the proc rate, not the damage or anything like that. I always get that kind of a comment, so I have to say many times this isn't a build. Because people come in here and be, oh, your build is shit. Well, yeah, it's not a build. Just stacking cooldown reduction just to see. I said I wasn't going to do it, but I was curious. Because I can't see the shockwave good enough. Oh yeah, it's popping off in here. There's enough enemies. You just got to get near enough enemies. But a singular enemy, I think it holds up. Obviously, if you increase your attack speed, it'll proc more of them. See, so now I can do the strategy where you wait till that's at 0, then you pop a Frozen Legion. And as you pop that Frozen Legion, your shockwaves can recharge a little bit, giving you more procs. So that would be the playstyle if Frozen Legion wasn't so bad. I mean, it's alright, but I'm gonna do it without Frozen Legion, so I don't need the 2-button playstyle. And I don't think I'm gonna use the Shaco either, because it doesn't have the MTX. I mean, I bought the MTX to make myself blind. I might as well use it. A prismatic burst pops a lot too. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Alright, that's all I needed for the demo. It's gonna be a meme. I'll have the real build out once I'm done building it. Still fiddling with a few things. That is all. I can count to potato.